and welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we're doing a Tex-Mex spin on a Mexican holiday dish. This is tamales. It's pretty straightforward, although it is a little fiddly in places. It does involve steaming, and you have to wrap this up in corn husks, so it's a slightly bit labor intensive, but absolutely delicious, so we hope you'll try it, and here's our ingredients. So we're starting off with some masa harina. This is corn flour. Some stock. This is just chicken stock. We're going to be using bacon grease for the fat. Some salt. Some baking powder. And this is some of our chili, and I'll put a link in the description below. And we're going to be using corn husks to wrap these and steam them in. So first things first is we're going to soak the corn husks. They do need to be, they come dried. You can usually find these in the Mexican section of nicer grocery stores, or at specialty shops you'll be able to get corn husks, and they come dried. So you do want to soak them for a little while. Half an hour should be fine. They just need to be damp enough, pliable enough that you can use, that you can move them and fold them. So we're going to add all of our dry ingredients together, so that's the salt and baking powder going into the masa harina. And we're just going to mix that until it's well combined. And then we're going to add in our fat, which in our case is bacon grease. Now, you can use lard or shortening for this as well. Whatever you prefer. We're using bacon grease because we had it on hand, and it adds that really nice bacony flavor. It's got a great aroma to it, and it's perfectly fine for this purpose. So we're just going to mix that in. And we're just using our hands here, so you can see Chef Caleb here. He's got some gloves on because this is a little bit greasy, obviously. We're using bacon grease. And we just want to mix this until we get this nice sort of crumbly mixture. And you want to make sure that the fat that you're using, whatever it is well distributed through your dry ingredients so that it's well combined and there's no big lumps of dry ingredients left. Now, you don't have to worry too much about over mixing because this is not regular flour. Once it's at this point here, where it sort of clumps together, we're ready to add our liquids. So you don't have to worry about over mixing it because this is not regular flour. It's not wheat flour, and it's not going to provide a lot of gluten. So you're not going to be causing this to become tough by over mixing it. It's corn flour, and you're not going to have the same sort of situation. So we've added in our stock. We're just going to mix that together. Now you can see here, it's all sort of come together into sort of a shaggy dough. And you do want to let that sit for a little while. So we're going to let that sit, and we're going to start preparing our chili. Now we're using this for two different reasons. We are going to be collecting the liquid for the gravy, and we're going to be collecting the meat to shred and put inside the tamales. So we are going to put this in a strainer. We're going to just take out the larger pieces of meat because we use just like slices or lumps of chuck for our chili, and it's been cooked for a long, long time. So you can see here it's super, super tender, and we're just going to take that out. Once all the big lumps of meat are out, we're going to push as much of the tomato mixture, as much of the sauce of the chili, the gravy, through the strainer as we can. So we get this beautiful, thick, and very flavorful gravy that we're going to thicken further before we add to our tamales. And any meat that remains in your strainer, that's fine. We're just going to put that into the bowl with the other meat. We're going to use that to stuff our tamales. Do not forget to scrape off the bottom of your strainer because it is a lot of great flavor, and that is a beautiful, thick, you can see, beautiful, thick, and quite smooth gravy that we're going to be turning into a sauce for our tamales. And then we just want to shred the meat a little bit. So basically we're making pulled Tex-Mex chili beef here, and making sure that we've got all of that beautiful beef shredded. And if you're making pork chili, then it'll be beautiful shredded pork as well. Whatever you're using, this is where we're just taking all of the meat and making it into filling for our tamales. So once your filling has sat for a little while, and you've got all of your filling ready, your dough is sat for a while and has had a chance to completely hydrate and everything, we're going to start spreading that onto the corn husks. So you want a good sort of even layer, and then you're going to fill it with the shredded beef from your chili. And from there, you're just going to roll it up. So you want to make sure you're rolling that one edge right into the middle. So while you're making these, do try and do it on one edge. You don't want to do it in the middle of the corn husk. It's a little bit easier if you do it on the edge. If you have slightly overstuffed your tamale, that's fine. Just add a tiny bit more of your dough. Does help to keep your hands moist during this process. It keeps them a little bit cleaner. We are also going to be using gloves for this. And then just roll it up in the corn husks and fold over the end. That's it. That's all you need to do as far as getting your tamales ready. So just do that for as much dough and meat as you have, and then get ready for steaming. Now, the trick for the steaming is you do want to try and keep them all upright. And there's a few different ways you can do this. If you are particularly intrepid, you can tie a string around all of them and lower them as a unit into your steaming pot. We are not doing that. It's a little tricky, so we're just going to do it with a measuring cup in the middle. We're going to stack them all around and then take the measuring cup out and just put them all in the middle. Just fill it up. And as long as they're all standing up basically like this so that they're not tipping over and dumping contents into your steaming water, we're all set to go. So we're going to cover that, and do make sure that you have something to press down on your lid, because that lid does need to be completely down. We're trying to keep that steam in there so that, number one, you don't have to top up your water, and number two, the temperature in there stays good and high to cook these. So we've let these go for a while. All the cooking times are going to be in the description below along with the ingredients. And we're just going to check one of the bigger ones to see if it's cooked. And a good way to test is just sort of hold it upside down, and if it releases from the corn husk, it's ready to go. If it doesn't quite, we're not quite ready. So while we're waiting for those to finish off, we are going to start with our gravy. So we're going to be making a roux. Once our butter is melted, we're going to add some more masa flour and then some regular flour, because we need that for the actual roux here. And we're just going to mix this all together. Now, you've seen us make a roux before. The only difference here is that there is a small amount of, there is an amount of masa flour in here, of corn flour. So it's going to react a little differently than how a roux normally would. And we do want to get this quite toasty. We're not going all the way to the dark roux that we did for the gumbo, but we do want it to cook down quite a lot. You can see here the flour is cooking out. You're getting those nice big bubbles. So that's a good sign. It means as it's frothing up like that, that's a good sign that your flour is cooking. So we're going to just get that nice and stirred up, and it's going to get a little darker each time. But do keep stirring it, because there's a lot of butter and flour in here, and it will stick to your pan and it will scorch. So do make sure you're keeping this moving. All right, while we're waiting for that to finish sort of browning, we're going to do a little test here, and you can see that is coming away from the corn husk very, very cleanly. So this is probably just about done. So we're going to turn off the heat, and this is ready to go. So this is about right. We're about ready with our roux at this point. You can see it's got a nice dark color. You're starting to get that beautiful toasted corn smell from the corn flour. And once it's gotten to this color, this nice sort of rich brown color, we're going to toss in that beautiful, thick and quite smooth gravy that we strained from the chili. And this is going to be the gravy for our tamales. So it's going to have this beautiful, dark and rich flavor. We want to get all of that flavor out of there. So we add a little bit of water. That's fine. It's all going to boil off, and this is going to thicken. Do make sure you're seasoning as well. So we're going to add a little bit of salt to that. And that's it for this chili gravy. So it comes together really, really quickly. Once the roux is done, that's really the tough part. And you can see it's thickening really, really fast now. The roux is doing its job, and it's getting everything. It's binding everything together really nicely and making this beautiful thick gravy. So it gets to about this consistency, and that's perfect. That's exactly where you want it. Do make sure you're tasting, taste and season as well. And from there, it's just plating. So we're going to take a couple of these and pop them on a plate. These are, of course, best eaten when they're still hot, so always recommend that. We're going to spoon a little bit of that beautiful thick gravy on top. And then after that, we are going to just top it with a little bit of cheese. So we have a nice orange cheddar, sort of a medium cheddar to go on top. And we already got that shredded. So we're just going to cover this with a little bit of cheddar. And then, I mean, this is sort of restaurant plating for this. So if you want this, if you want to look sort of like restaurant plating, pop that under the broiler for a couple of minutes and get that cheese nice and bubbly on top, which we have done here. And then from there, you're ready to go. That's it. You're ready to eat your tamales. And that's it. They do freeze very nicely after they've been cooked, so you can always freeze them and then bring them back either in the microwave or under the broiler, or a combination of the two. And I mean, it's the time of year for this, so we hope you'll give this a try. And absolutely delicious. Get some chili, get some corn flour, and have a great meal with them. So if you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.